So, are we back on camera? We're back on camera. So, obviously, NASCAR is going to be exciting this weekend as I go to pull that stuff up. Especially the, I believe it's called the Gatorade Duel, which is how they start off the season, which was earlier this week. And nose-to-nose victory, where, honestly, I bet the people that were calling the race couldn't tell who won. It had to be, photo finish as we pull it up there and you see that
Jimmie Johnson.
Yeah, Jimmie Johnson by headlights. And that's how we won, it was by headlights. And so obviously a very close match. He beat I think he beat Harvick in that one, which excites me because I don't like Harvick at all.
Me neither.
Okay, let's go back to the topic that I was talking about, and that is the 2010 North 3A Arizona State Wrestling Champions, the Monument Valley Mustangs. And I want to kind of talk about this because, people from around here won't understand, the significance of this. This conference has been ran by Winslow and Holbrook for as long as I can remember. I mean, Holbrook used to not be in the conference, but as soon as they do, they win the conference. Before that, it was like 5 straight titles for Winslow. And then you look at this Monument Valley team, who graduates 8 of their seniors last year. 8 seniors. This was definitely one of those, quote, rebuilding years. This is also a program a few years ago looked like it wasn't going to have a program when the season was over because head coach Andrew Jones, he gets a higher calling and goes into missionary work and becomes a preacher. And so my dad, Clyde McBride, there was an option, no wrestling, or he has to be the head coach. And so he takes the role of this head coaching job, and they pull out a conference championship this year.
Is this his 3rd year? No.
It might be his 3rd, 4th year. I think it was my junior or sophomore year he took over the program.
So he's making a lot of progress real fast.
Well, and really, Andrew Jones, even though, he really didn't coach, the seniors on this team. I guess it was 4 years because the seniors from last year's team, their freshman year, Andrew Jones was the head coach. So none of these coaches, none of the wrestlers on this team was coached by Andrew Jones. But this guy changed Monument Valley Wrestling. I'd have to say most of my dad's knowledge comes from what he learned from a few years with Andrew Jones. 2 years, I think, was when they were together. And honestly, the other thing that this team does, which I was talking a little bit last night with Andrew Walker during the basketball game, was it's a family-oriented team. It's about being family. And that's even their logo. They're the Mustang family. And something that, he kind of laughed about was it's really somewhat female-led. And you never think of that for a wrestling team. I mean, this is a man's sport. But for the last couple of years, it's almost like the team is family because the females on the team keep it together. And so it just totally takes it to a new level. And like I was telling them, I think they're the only team, the wrestling team in the nation that has a white elephant gift exchange at Christmas time. And so it's real funny to talk about it. And, the girls, I think they're going for their 4th state championship in a row. And so this is just a really family-oriented team, and that's all it's about. Yeah, I know I can't say the word. So, of course, we're going to run down individual weight classes. We got to give them all a cheer because every individual weight class, they qualified a state competitor. And so we need to go give cheers out for those. 103, Young, 3rd place. 112, Sullivan, 4th place. 119, and this guy, he was in the state championship game, or the state championship last year. Unfortunately, he's going against Finch from Stafford, who was already signed to Iowa State. And that's Maloney, and he was a regional champion. 125, Des Cheney, 4th place. At 130, Parrish, a regional champion. 135, Jones, a 4th place. 140, Daisy, regional champion. 145, Anigal, regional champion. At 152, Whaley, 3rd place. At 160, and I got to kind of go on this kid a little bit, Ed City, regional champion, outstanding wrestler. I think his first match, he got pinned by a girl in the first period, his freshman year.
Wow.
But he stuck with the sport. He worked out. He got the basics. Outstanding regional wrestler. That's called, a huge change. 171, Bailey, 3rd place. 189, Portman, 2nd place. 115, Williams, 3rd place. And as much as I like keep saying this, I know this kid personally, Williams. He needs to come here and play offensive line for OPSU because he's that kind of caliber offensive football player. And heavyweight, Charlie at 2nd place. And I know Charlie pretty close too, and he don't look like a wrestler. But when he wrestles, he is a wrestler. And then my dad, Coach of the Year, so that's exciting news for this program, which is just different according of wrestling. You think of wrestling as an individual sport.
But it takes a team.
It really does take a team to win team competitions. They are currently, right now, wrestling at the state competition at the Tim's Toyota Center in Prescott Valley. So hopefully we can see some of these guys. I went and looked at some bracket, and unfortunately at 160, Kirby Ed City, he kind of got a real crummy bracket. He's got both the South 1 and 2 in his side of the bracket, and they're probably the top 2 wrestlers in the state. So he's going to have to go through a lot to even get to the semifinals and then to the finals. So that's what we wanted to talk about for high school. And hopefully that's why I wore my Mustang shirt today. Got to show my Mustang pride. But anywho, we will go to a song break and come back with more sports.